I feel like the one thing that public education got wrong was implementation. Because I've been in the public education system all my life. Just recently, I dropped out of college at 19 years old. And the one thing that I'm noticing that really public education lacks is implementation of the things we actually study. Because that's the best way you're going to learn, is to actually implement the things that you're learning, because that's how you learn your mistakes. You go through the trials and the tribulations of putting in the reps, seeing what works, what doesn't work. And we never did that in school. Yeah, we did group projects. Yeah, we did little simulations. That didn't really teach us nothing. That didn't teach us nothing about pushing ourselves to discomfort, to getting past limiting beliefs. School taught us nothing about this. The real world will teach you discipline. The real world will teach you hard work. My definition of hard work isn't putting in long hours, it's pushing yourself to discomfort. It's tasks that are lined up on your schedule that give you anxiety when you look at it. That's hard work. It's stuff you don't want to do because you are in a discomfortable position. My name is Ferris Abenil, and if you're new here, I do something called Gumption Talks, which is my version of a raw talk where I kind of share my insights, my realizations, opinions, and it's just my version of being able to sit down here and talk to y'all and kind of run you through what's going through my mind, whether it's a learning lesson, a success, a mistake that I made in my past. And in this video specifically, it's a realization that I had. And I've gone through a lot in the past 2 years I've ran a business that ultimately failed. I made money with it, yes, but I found out it wasn't something that I was passionate about. And I'm reflecting back on this because recently one of my mentors talked to me and he was saying, like, you have to implement. You have to first implement, then execute, and then revise your steps, see what you did wrong. You want to fail fast and learn quicker. And I'm trying to start up a business here, and I'm learning the best way I can do that is just pushing myself through the reps. The first business that I had was an agency. It was an agency model. I was running a social media agency where I was working with financial advisors on their client acquisition systems. And I would spend so many hours just doing the busy work. I was setting up systems, funnels, trying to make my back end perfect. Back end means like my service in a sense. But I wasn't actually putting the reps in. I wasn't actually taking the steps to get customers. And I kept reading about it. I kept learning about it. It was something that I was anxious about. It was something that would stress me out, is cold calling. I would cold call people up to 100 numbers a day. And I was scared to do that at first. That was a big limiting belief of mine. And I'm realizing that I would stress out over it. I would just continue to take in information, how to make what scripts to use, what to say, how to handle objections. But I never actually went through the work. I never actually learned. And the funny thing is, once I started doing the reps, even though they were terrible, I'm telling you, like I have voicemails on my computer of people just cussing me out for like 17 minutes straight. Cold calling, bro. It is one of the most humbling things you can do as a man. And those experiences actually taught me something. Public education, bro, studying, just sitting and studying all my life, I have not learned as much as I have in the past 2 years where I actually go out and get the work done. It's because I implemented the stuff that I'm learning. I'm going through the reps and I'm learning it and I'm applying it and I'm seeing what worked well, what didn't work, and I'm revising based on what did work. I'm not saying that public education is a bad thing, because I've learned so much throughout my years in school, like the Pythagorean theorem. You probably know what that is. I've yet to use it to this day. And that's kind of what sparked my idea for this video. And another realization that I had was half the shit that I learned in school I have not used. But when I actually went out in the real world and tried to start a business that failed, I failed the business. I learned so much from it, though. I would not trade that experience for anything. The time I spent putting in work that felt like didn't matter, it was all for a reason. It was all so I could learn to apply it to right now with this business that I'm trying to start up right now. And the takeaway I want you watching this video right now to get from here is you can study all you want you can study how you make $1 million all you want for like 15 plus years. You can study the best people who knew exactly how to make $1 million, but you are not going to make that $1 million unless you actually apply yourself and you go through the trenches. You make the mistakes, you fail quick, and you learn faster. You put in the work. You can't just sit back and study all your life, bro. And I think that's what really drove me to drop out of school, is because I was so sick of just studying, bro. I wanted to experience something. I wanted to push myself. Like, I've been in a classroom all my life, and like sitting in my math lectures in college, I was like, what am I doing, bro? I want to do more. I want to actually put in the work. Like, I knew I could actually get the experience for business if I just went out and do it. I don't need no degree. And in the world we're moving in right now, you don't need a degree to do anything, really. But that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, is that you don't need some insane degree that you need to spend 150 plus in student loans for, 150K plus in student loans for, and spend 10 years of your life in college working towards. Like doctors, lawyers, it just didn't sit right with me when I was sitting in the classroom. I was like, fuck, I want to do more. I want to actually go out and get it. That's what drove me to drop out. But the learning lesson I want you to take away from this video is not to forget about studying, but find a perfect balance between motion and action. Motion is thinking about doing the work, is studying to do the work, prepping yourself, if you will. And action is actually going through the reps and putting in the work to learn from your mistakes, to actually put yourself in the trenches, with whatever you want to do, whether that's building a good physique, whether that's making money with entrepreneurship, is putting in the reps. You want to find a balance between the two, because you want to study your craft, but actually want to implement. And that's something that public education got fucked up. And that's why I'm making this video, is because I want to share y'all from my experience and my insights, being that I dropped out of college at 19, and kind of show you where my headspace is at towards what I saw wrong with public education. Like, I feel like the public education system failed me in a way. Like, they never taught me like what's discipline. I've built insane amount of discipline. I've built an unbreakable mindset in the past 12 months just because I've been putting in reps every single day and learning from my mistakes, learning from my failures. And I fail a lot. I suck at a lot of stuff, but the only way I can get better is to just do more. And in the past 12 months, that's all I've been doing. Like, you look at my Instagram story, I've been posting my 4:15 a.m. wake up every single solitary day. Anyone who knows me will vouch for me and say that I've never been a early morning person. Yet I've been waking up at 4:15 a.m. consistently for months now. And I post my push-ups on my story. Like, I look for discomfort. I look for situations where I can put myself in uncomfortable positions, because I know that builds me as a man, that builds discipline. Tying that all together, that's implementing the things that I know to do, the things that I've learned from reading books like the ones you see behind me. Like, for example, Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet David. I didn't just read the book. Like, I actually have to apply the stuff that I learned in it and go through with it. And just, like, this is a very successful guy. Look up Patrick Bet David, multi-millionaire and very influential person. Like, this is someone that I idolize because he has an outcome that I want, and I try to study him. And what I do is I replicate word for word what he does, and then I modify based on how it relates to me, because everyone is different. You want to do it your own authentic way. But if this person succeeded with it, I want to start off doing what he did first, because he has the outcome that I want. You're never told to fail. Like, I was judged on how smart I was based off a score that I got off a test. Like, not saying that I was a fucking retard during school. Like, during high school, I had a 4.2 GPA, and I finished with before I dropped out of college, I had not a 4.1, but like 3.7, because that scale is a little bit different for GPA. Like, I was a smart kid in school. Like, I was book smart. But like street smart, not really, until I started actually applying myself and putting in the reps for it. Like, they don't teach you that in school. So, I mean, that's the reason why I want to make this video and get this message out to y'all. And I hope it resonates with someone hearing this right now. If you're in high school right now, if you're in college, just know the best thing you can do for yourself is actually put in the reps. Give yourself experience. The simulations, group projects that you do in school, they'll give you some experience, but the best thing you can do is just push yourself out there, because why? It's uncomfortable. No one wants to do it. I sure as hell didn't want to start my business like and cold call random people and get cussed at every single day for like months straight, or get on sales calls with people that I didn't even know and try to convince them, not convince them, but sell them on my product. That's not comfortable for me. You think I wanted to do that? But no, I have to put myself in that position to get a learning lesson out of it and build myself, build my discipline, build my skill set, because that is what life is. It's a skill set. You want to build the skill sets that you value. That's what I'm doing. I built really good sales experience through that experience. Like, I bought another book, Inside the Mind of Sales by Derek Brothwick, and I read that book completely and I studied it. This guy very successful in sales. It taught me a lot in this book, but I learned so much more just off doing 100 dials, 100 cold call dials. So bottom line, implement, execute, and learn from your mistakes. And I appreciate you watching this far into this video. And again, this is a gumption talk that I like to say. It's my raw talk, my insights, my opinion, my authentic self with y'all, and give y'all learning lessons that I learned from my mistakes and learning life lessons. So hopefully you took some value from this video, but I'll speak to y'all boys later.